Hello and welcome to Part 2A, Naming Elements and Ions, part of the Introduction to Radiation section. A couple of times we've come up and we've used the way of labelling and representing atoms and ions with symbols. So I just thought I would spend a little bit of time just going over that. Here we've got a pretend way of representing atoms. We use this X as the chemical symbol, which you can get from the periodic table. A, as it says here, is the mass number, which is the number of nucleons, particles in the nucleus. And from other videos, you should know that that's the number of protons and neutrons. Z is the atomic number, and that tells us the number of protons, and that determines the element name and the element properties. And as we've said, X is your element name. Again, we've said if it's one letter, the element is represented by one letter, it will always be a capital. And if it's two letters, it will be capital and lowercase. So here's your periodic table that you should have seen from first year, laid out into groups. Okay, and the element name is given here. Okay, it's symbol. So here, this is element number 9. So it has 9 protons. It's called fluorine. And it uses the symbol F, and every one of the elements has got its own specific details and its place in the periodic table. We mentioned about giving off alpha particles, beta particles and gamma radiation, and often those come about because they are isotopes of elements. Now, isotopes are the same element but have different numbers of nucleons. Remember, it is the proton that determines the type of element it is. So we can see here that the top one is a carbon atom with 12 nucleons. It must be carbon because it's got 6 protons here. So this one here is a carbon 14, and it's different to this one because it has 14 nucleons. But we know that they must have 6 protons to be carbon. So therefore, what's the difference between those? Well, if we subtract our atomic number from our mass number, that gives us the number of neutrons. So we've got 12 nucleons, i.e. 12 protons and neutrons. 6 of those are protons, which leaves 6 neutrons. So you can do the one below. You've got 14, you subtract 6, and that gives us 8 neutrons. So these are isotopes. They are both carbon. What we're going to do is leave you to do an activity. I'm going to show you where it is. I'm not going to do the fundamental concepts with you, but I would recommend that you tackle that before you do the one that I'm going to show you. And if you really want to, and you're quite good at this, you could try isotope symbols too, but that's quite complex. So this is where you will find this website, okay, and I'll put it in your notebook. So if I can get that to you, this is what it looks like. So we're going to launch the concept builder here. It takes a little while to load. It then allows you to do it in full screen. You can type your name in. As you can see, I've been playing this and I'm getting a bit nervous in case I get one of these wrong. So do this bit first. It's really recommended that you try and get those questions right. But I'm just going to show you how to do a few of these. I'm not going to do them all. They're random. So it says here, an isotope contains 6 protons and 8 neutrons. Construct the symbol for the isotope. Now there's different ways that they can answer this, so you need to be careful. So let's start with the beginning of this. We know that it's got 6 protons. 6 protons gives us this atomic number at the bottom, so we can enter 6 in there, and we know that we've got the element. So from that, if we click on here, we'll get a periodic table. We want element 6, which is this one here, which is carbon. We can click on there, make sure it comes up as carbon, close it. And this one's a bit tricky. So we know that there are 6 protons and 8 neutrons. We don't put 8 up here. Remember, this is protons plus neutrons. So you need to go to a calculator. If you can't find that, we add 8 and the 6, which I'm hoping makes 14. And just be careful of that, because I've done this several times and got them wrong, and I think it's because it doesn't click very easily. Okay, and you can check your answer whether you're right. And excellent, I've got one right. Phew. And that was quite amazing that happened to be the carbon that I've just shown you. So you can do the rest of those. I'm not going to show you where. Okay, and this is where I've got to find my PowerPoint again. So just in summary, elements can be represented in this way here, where A is the mass number, which is the number of protons and neutrons, Z is the atomic number, and X would be your chemical symbol. Thank you for listening, and there'll be more in your notebook. Have a play on those and send me a screenshot when you've got 6 out of 6 on each episode. Thank you.